Hello and welcome to Tapping Tips Tuesday. My name's Katie Walker. I'm an EFT trainer, mentor and practitioner. And today I wanted to talk to you about being a people pleaser. If that's you, then keep listening. If that's not you, then go and listen to something else, but you can still listen. I don't mind. And the reason why I wanted to talk about people pleasing is that a lot of my clients who I work with, this is an issue for them. This is something that we work on in terms of I guess how it's showing up for them now is really starting to get resentful and feeling angry because they're continually doing and showing up for others and giving and ensuring other people's needs are met before their own. And so they've been doing it for a long time, and it's getting to a point where they're like, hang on a minute, I think there's a little bit more to things than others, and I need to start to work on myself so I can put myself first, because when our cup is full, we can then be even better for other people, but particularly for ourselves, that's really important. And being a people pleaser can come from a myriad of reasons in terms of our childhood experiences and beliefs that we've formed due to perhaps things that we didn't get, conflicts that we had. We're trying to avoid conflict, so let's make sure everyone's needs are okay, and I'll ensure that I'm pleasing what's going over here so I don't have to deal with that conflict. Or it might be I'm getting this beautiful attention because I'm giving. Perhaps I missed out on that as a child, and this is a need that's being fulfilled. Or we observed our parents being pleasers and doing things for everyone else and never putting themselves first. So it's something that we've learned through observation. And there's a number of other reasons why you might be a people pleaser, but ultimately there is a belief that is playing out at an unconscious level. You might have some awareness of it, but typically at an unconscious level, that's then driving this behavior of needing to please others. And through emotional freedom techniques, we can actually identify what those beliefs are to change the story, to rewrite a new story so that we can show up and do and be and experience a life that we would really love. And so when we identify those particular beliefs that are playing out, we can do something with it. But to keep this simple and to show you how we can use it in our day without having to go and see a practitioner, but ideally when you know that something is persistent and you keep doing the same things over and over and over again, I would highly recommend that you go and work with someone just to get things started. Because the thing is with EFT tapping, once you know how to use this and you understand one of the key techniques, which is what I'm showing you most of the time, you can then apply it in your own life. So if you're working with a good practitioner, they're going to get to the roots of where this has started and to release that, and then you can use it as things show up in your daily life. So let me give you an example of what this might look like. It could be a situation where you are starting to feel some resentment because you're always giving. And maybe it's one particular person that you keep giving and giving and giving to please, perhaps to avoid conflict, which you might not be aware of, but at the unconscious level, I don't want to have a fight with that person. So let's just assume that it's your partner, for argument's sake, or a friend if you're not partnered. So partner or friend. So I want you to think about someone that you are continually giving to please their needs, putting their needs first. And I want you to think about either a recent time when that happened or thinking about it happening again. So we're coming up to the weekend, you know that they might want to do something that you don't necessarily want to do, but you're going to do it because it's going to keep the peace and you're ensuring that they're happy. You're keeping them happy, but you're not really caring about what's going on for you. So there's some self-worth, self-love stuff going on there. That could be what's underneath the surface for you. So I'm going to use a future example. But you think, you know, if in the last week or so, and you thought, oh yes, the other day when I did X, Y, Z for that person, because I wanted to make sure that they're okay, they're happy. Thinking about it now, what is the emotion that you feel about it? Do you feel disappointed? Do you feel resentment? Do you feel angry? Do you feel upset? Do you feel, what about me? What about my needs? And we can use that in a what about my needs feeling. So think about if it was the past, or if, as I said, something's coming up in the future and you know you're going to have that conversation. Should we go to this restaurant? Should we go and do this? Should we go and do that? But they're going to get there. you're going to make sure that their needs are met. I'm going to go with the future. So thinking about my friend, I'm making this up because I've got beautiful friends, where it's equal, it feels equal. But thinking about that particular friend, and we're going to have a discussion about going out for dinner, and she's going to want to go to that restaurant. I don't really want to, but I know that that's what she wants, and I'm going to put her needs first. So thinking about that now, how do I feel? Well, I could be feeling anxious just thinking about the conversation. I already could be starting to feel some resentment or some sadness because my needs aren't being met. Or I could be feeling angry right now thinking about that. So let me pick one of those emotions for argument's sake. So I'm going to say resentment. And then I'm going to rate that resentment 0 to 10, thinking about having that discussion about going to a restaurant. She's going to say what she wants. That's what we're going to do. My needs aren't being met, but I'm making sure her needs are pleasing her. Resentment 0 to 10. Let's say it's a 5. Am I noticing it anywhere in my body? It's in my chest. Okay, so we've got the event. It's a future event, but you might be thinking about a past one that's happened this week. So who was involved? What happened? When was it? You're creating a little event. What is the emotion in the here and now when you think about it? Rate it 0 to 10, because as we're doing the tapping, we want to know, is the emotion reducing, the intensity and the emotion reducing? And then also as we're checking in, so feeling your feet, just tuning into where you are right here, right now. Are you noticing that emotion showing up anywhere in your body? If you don't, that's okay. But just check in and see if it is. So please tap along with me. You've written your thing down, turn that bit of paper over and use my words with what I'm going to say. And we're going to start tapping on the side of the hand. So if you're new to tapping, it's between the pinky and the wrist where the fleshy part of your skin is. It's called the side of the hand. And this is where we're stating what's going on. We're stating the emotion. We're stating what we're focusing in on. Even though that's happening, we're still going to be able to say an acceptance statement of sorts. I can still deeply and completely accept myself, or I accept this is how I feel, or this is just where I'm at right now. And that's, even though this is happening, we're still okay. So repeating after me, even though I feel this resentment in my chest, just thinking about Friday and the conversation that's going to happen about what restaurant my friend and I are going to go to, and she's going to pick the restaurant she wants, and that's what we're going to go with. Her needs, not mine. And I feel resentment just thinking about that. But I can still deeply and completely accept myself. And even though I feel this resentment in my chest, just thinking about the conversation on Friday night with my friend, deciding on what restaurant to go to, she'll get to pick the restaurant. Her needs are met and not mine. I can still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I feel this resentment in my chest, just thinking about Friday and having that conversation about what restaurant we're going to go to. And my friend's going to get to pick it because I need to make sure her needs are met, not mine. I still deeply and completely accept myself. And then we go to the top of the head. That's the first point, and we just repeat the emotion, this resentment. And we go to the start of the eyebrow, either side, both hands, this resentment. And we go to the side of the eye, this resentment. Under the eye, the bony bit underneath the eye, this resentment. Under the lip, under the nose, sorry, this resentment. Under the lip, this resentment. Collarbone, this resentment. And then under the arm, this resentment. Then just coming back to the side of the hand, and then you think about the event coming up, or event that it was, how am I feeling? Has that resentment declined, gone down, reduced, might have gone up, because as we're starting to tune in, the emotion can certainly intensify, or has it come down? So what we want to try and do is keep tapping until we've got it down to ideally a 0. So tuning in, thinking about Friday, it could go from resentment to sadness or disappointment or embarrassment or shame. Notice, take a moment and be really connected to the event. And then what is the emotion thinking about it? change the emotion if it has to change. Like, even though I feel sad and I feel it in my throat, just thinking about Friday and my friend choosing the restaurant and she gets to pick because I want to make sure she's happy and not me. And just, again, 3 times on the side of the hand, I still deeply and completely accept myself, repeat it, and then I feel sad, feeling sad, feeling sad, feeling sad. So just notice what it is. And then what might happen, excuse me, is that, excuse me, as you are doing that, the neural pathways, the neural networks will start to light up, and they could make connections to earlier times when you're in situations where other people's needs were put before yours, or you made sure they were okay to avoid a certain situation, or to get some praise, or to feel okay. So just notice that, and I'm going to suggest you write that down, because if you're new to tapping, you might feel a little uncomfortable knowing what to do with that. So you can either just park it, bookmark it as you start to become more familiar with this process, or you reach out and you work with me, which I'd love, or find another practitioner that you feel comfortable with. But you can reach me on hello@katiewalkereft.com, or my website is www.katiewalkereft.com. So to summarize, we have these beliefs that play out. I'm losing my voice. Why am I losing my voice? We have these beliefs that play out, and they show up in our current day in various ways. So notice if there's patterns that are happening, and particularly around this topic of always putting others' needs before my own. How do I please others? Am I doing that to avoid a conflict? Am I doing that to get some praise that feels good? Am I doing that for what is the reason that I'm always putting other people's needs in front of my own? Be curious about what's going on. But if you want some support with that, reach out and let me know. But I hope this has been useful, and I will see you next week for the next tapping tip. You take care.